What's going on, Scorpio? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of July 2025. So in this reading, Scorpio, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy, some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you regarding the month of July. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance, Scorpio, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what is coming your way for the month of July 2025, Scorpio. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Scorpio. Okay. What's going on here, Scorpio? Oh, this is looking fishy. Hold on. All right, Scorpio, really interesting energy that you got going on here for the month of July. I'm going to take the time to process it. And in the meantime, we're going to take a look at some pre-shuffled oracle cards for you from the universe. And these oracle cards contain the energy that Spirit wants you to embody and to really be in for the month of July. And the first one you have is Spiritual Guide. All right, Spiritual Guide. So I feel like the universe has been trying to get your attention in the various forms that spiritual guides can take. It's actually changing right now with the world. So this is an energy where you have a lot of support from interdimensional angelic beings or even aliens, if that's your thing. But I think this is the energy that you need more of, because there's something here that the universe really wants you to pay better attention to. You know, there's a certain situation even in your advice that's kind of telling you that there might be a situation that leads to a form of betrayal in your life if you don't listen to your intuition and taking things at face value to a certain degree. I think that there's a situation where the mask basically fell off recently in terms of a significant relationship in your life, and some of you may want to be like, oh, well, that person was just sad, angry, they were projecting onto me. But I think that you should take what happened recently and even what happens in the beginning of July as legitimate. You know, it's like when people are triggered or they're even in a position of power, it really reveals more of who they really are. So I think your spirit guides are trying to tell you that. Now, Spirit's also trying to tell you something about potentially even moving the location that you are in for many of you Scorpios out here. I mean, when I was on my intense ground missions, like in the springtime, I was getting zapped all over the time, all over the place. I mean, there was like freaking AI entering my head being like, Austin Reed, and I'm like literally getting zapped when I'm out here doing what I need to do. I'm getting zapped. Where I'm at now, because I read them, if you want to book a mapping reading, that's how I figured out how to be in the right spot at the right time, where I'm not getting zapped anymore, because the zaps can't, you know, that whole energy is taken care of. Spiritual guide. I think you have a lot of spiritual protection and strong energies here that you are aligned with. Now, here's the thing as well. There's someone from your past, and this is going to trigger some of you, but there's someone from your past or someone that you know that they are aligned with your soul. There could even be someone from your past that it didn't go well or it never got off the ground, that you're actually meant to be aligned with this individual because of how your spirit guides meet up. It's crazy for me because I'm so basically tapped into the other side. As soon as I start like getting into a new relationship or recovering old relationships, it's like a whole new set of spirit guides is just like instantly interacting with me like, yo, okay. So this is what you need to do. So aligning with your spirit guides, because in conjunction with spirit guide, you also have alignment. Okay, being in the right place at the right time, aligning. And this card actually shows, Scorpio, that you are about to manifest a big desire that you have in your life. There's a lot of alignment that you've basically shifted into recently. And I feel that the main thing here is to stay strong enough to follow through with the alignment, even if it's scary. Even if there's no guarantee that it will work out, you're being called to move into a more aligned situation than the one that many of you currently have going on right now, or you've had going on and that you're leaving. There could even have been a misaligned sexual experience in your past or even recently that this has to do with. Okay, not for all of you, but when I was pre-shuffling the oracle cards, the sexuality card came out. And speaking of that, you also have creativity, which I think basically goes in a line with that card that wanted to come out, because sexual energy is essentially creative energy, bringing new forms, mental, emotional, into the world at this time. So it's really time to draw on the negativity in your life to increase your creativity. So like the rose that blooms in the middle of an urban city where it shouldn't be able to, but it still does. I think that there's a period of darkness here that many of you may be entering temporarily for the month of July, where you're actually entering into that period of darkness because the universe wants you to transmute it and to basically perform some sort of creative act in order to help you get through it and like to learn a lesson about it, okay, Scorpio? But it really depends on how you play it, is what I'm going to say. I do think there could be a potential even really annoying setback or situation in the middle to the beginning of July. Now, this may have to do with other people rather than just you, but this is what I sense. I sense that there's some sort of letdown, but I think that Spirit is actually protecting you. So a lot of times when things go wrong or things don't work out, you don't even know how many angels or spirit guides are bending over backwards to basically make sure that you're staying aligned. So I would say that if you could give credit to your angels or to a higher force, I think that would be really beneficial for you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Your opportunity is the Strength card, Scorpio. And the Strength card has to do with Leo energy. You see this woman closing the mouth of the lion very gracefully. There's a situation that you may want to get out of gracefully that has to do with your past. You know, this could be someone that it feels like a karmic relationship that you want to get out of it here, because first of all, it reduces your creativity and it reduces your alignment, what I'm being told, and it reduces even your sexual energy for some of you. All right, so many of you could be blinded by a certain frequency here where you don't really see the person's vibration because it's just out of habit or something like that. But the Strength card is all about merging the higher self with the ego. And I think that you're going to need some ego in order to be creative, not identifying with your creations, but being a vessel for those creations to come through in an aligned way. Like I said, spirit guides and alignment as well. I feel like for me personally, like spirit, I was getting zapped when I was really in a place that I had to do some crazy stuff in, but now it's like I'm getting transmuted zaps where it's like they're aligning my chakras. So even just today, I mean, even like maybe an hour before, a couple hours before I filmed this video, there was a craft out here, and basically I was looking at the craft. It looked really weird. It looked like an unusual craft, and then it just disappeared. I like closed my eyes, and then I saw like the shape of some sort of craft. So what I'm saying is that spiritual guide alignment, you may be, some of you may be a little bit shook based on like the level of events that happen that make you feel out of control. But it's kind of like you're driving a car and you think that you're the one controlling the wheel, but the wheel is not really attached to anything, so you just think that you're controlling it. Is an analogy that I would use for this month for you. So it's not that you're not in control, but you're meant to flow with the flow that's the control that's already built into your life path, basically. Now, your challenge is the Strength card. It's interesting that the Sexuality card came out before, and then you also have the Creativity, and the Ace of Wands is like a brilliant idea from God, or, your spirit guides or the higher self. So with the Ace of Wands being in your challenge, I think that there's some sort of misaligned, let's be honest, there is a misaligned sexual, potentially even partner that some of you are dealing with. Now, some of you, there may be a challenge to remain celibate. Okay? Some of you, there may be a challenge to remain celibate at this time. But some of you also may be blocking your own forms of creativity and the alignment that can come from that. You know what I mean? So I think also with the Ace of Wands, with spiritual guide alignment, with the Creativity card as well, Scorpio, this is big for you. Even if you're in business, whatever, there are certain societal norms that are basically holding you back from being able to truly be inspired and create at this time for a lot of you. So you have to do away with convention, I feel. You have to do away with the ideas that other people have. I think a lot of you and you know what this is, Scorpio? There's someone that you've been recently maybe even connecting to, that when you enter into a sexual act with them, you exchange energetic files on a deep, deep level. So like if someone's blocked, you're going to be more blocked than usual for most people. So be aware of that. For some of you, it may have to be slowing down, becoming more celibate. For others of you, though, it's telling you that you have been interacting with someone who maybe doesn't accept you, and you're like, what truly turns you on. Like if I put all Scorpios in a padded room and then I enter stimuli and no one else knows about it, there's going to be things that turn you on, if you're being honest, and there's going to be other things that don't. So I think that if you're just by yourself in a psychotic padded room, then you know what turns you on and what doesn't turn. And not by yourself, but with the stimuli that turns you on. You know what turns you on and you know what doesn't turn you on. And there's clearly a situation where you were, I think many of you maybe were waiting for someone. Yeah, okay. There's an individual in your life, and it could have to do with sexuality for a lot of you. If this is about the creativity thing, I apologize. But hey, they're linked. Trust me, they're linked. Always. You can't separate them. There's someone in your life that you were waiting for the potential to blossom. You were like, I think me and this person are very creatively or sexually compatible, but it just really hasn't happened fully yet. So I'm going to stay in this relationship. But I think the truth about this relationship, if it is that, for many of you it is, that it's about kind of like coming to terms with the clarity that this may take way longer than you have time for. And this relationship for some of you may even come back around, but for many of you here, I don't even know. I think this is a complete calling it, because some of you don't want to be, because some of you, Scorpio is a fixed sign, so you don't want to be seen as a quitter. You don't want to be seen as, I'm gonna leave the relationship. But if we're being honest, it's not springing you up. If I put you into the padded room as you're my experiment, and I was like, I'm going to turn Scorpio on. You listening to this, not you, individual Scorpio. I'm going to add stimuli into this padded room to specifically turn Scorpio on to where they are sprung. Their nipples are hard. This is too much, but it's not. What you have going on is not that. It's not. So that's why your creativity and your alignment and even your spirit guides are like, yo. So you need to let go of convention. And I feel like for some of you there is some sort of timeline shift that is occurring in your life that's big, it's major. We are all on different soul path progressions. You know, some of us it's our last time here. You may be with someone that has to reincarnate 22 million times again. And you're just like, your next life is going to be a non-physical spiritual guide. So you're like, you are entering into a cycle of karma that is just whack. So do Do 10 readings on your plate, straight up page of swords. Don't work out with her, don't worry brother, I got hordes. Aries 8 has so you call me Osho Jr. A. Yeah, I know you hating, but you still watch my consumer A. Heard your girl, she watched my reading. Now her friend be fucking fiending. Yo, pain your life has no meaning. Yo, pain yo, hey yo. I call you Jabba the Hutt, I know you Dodo. Watch my reading, pride busting the nut. Slut, Obi-Wan Kenobi just unwalked in the cut. You thought you MJ of this rap, you more Charles Barkley, or fuck what? So, in your overall general energy, I feel like there's this energy of you've been trying to force something that you're not truly passionate about. Or if you're in the padded room, you don't get sprung. The nipples are not hard. And so it's time to reevaluate this. You have the 6 of Swords, you have the 5 of Pentacles, and you also have the 6 of Cups here when it comes to your overall general energy. So the 6 of Swords usually comes after a conflict, and it's about moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, but you got to know where to go. See me stranded on death row? So that's, some of you may feel like, okay, I got to get out of this situation, but I don't really know where to go next. And then you have that past, like, oh, maybe I could go into my past. I do feel like there's a grace period where you're going to be connecting to someone by the end of July that may feel like a coming home. It may feel very aligned for you. But I think there's a period in the middle of July where you disconnect from a certain situation, and for some of you will feel like you're missing out, the FOMO, the fear of missing out. But I feel like you're just missing out on karmic experiences. But even that feels like, that still feels like you're missing out because you're used to a certain vibration, excitement. In your what you don't see coming, it's a real weird situation that you're in. You have the Sun, the Knight of Pentacles, and also the Page of Swords. Do 10 readings on your straight up Page of Swords. So in this energy, in your in what you don't see coming, there's a lot of clarity about the slowness of a certain direction that you were waiting. And it's weird. It's almost like as soon as you pull your energy back from something, then whatever the situation is related to your sexual energy, your creativity, and your alignment, I feel like the energy will be like, oh no, I actually am into that now, or like, I will be aligned with you now. And you're just like, but you weren't when I was with you, so what's that about? So there's some sort of energy about clarity of slow-moving energy, and the Page of Swords is all about getting more information. It's like the librarian, the stalker of the tarot. The Knight of Pentacles is all about slow, steady development, taking no shortcuts to the goal that you have. It could represent someone in your life. These are 2 court cards. And then you have the Sun card here. So there's a lot of clarity about like the fact that when you pull away from something, there's energy that is clinging to you that quite frankly is not aligned, and it's going to pull you back into something that you've already graduated from. But many of you don't see that as clearly because you're still dealing with it. It's like your behavior and what you do is actually what counts, not necessarily what you just, oh, I'm going to get out of this soon. Like, you got to do it. So the reason I say that is because in your advice, Scorpio, you have the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and also the Hanged Man. I feel like there's a situation where someone, the reason why you need to get out of it is because Spirit has been trying to tell you that someone has been projecting a lot of things onto you. And it's like, in your advice here, I feel like there's going to be a really big temptation because you will feel betrayed, or someone will feel betrayed by this exit, this realignment in your life, you moving on. And because like you're in this void state, it will feel like there's not that much going on, so you're going to feel it even more. But the Hanged Man is all about a release. It's all about seeing something from a different perspective. And so this is a really tricky reading because it's like, I think someone's playing games with you, because it's like as soon as you disconnect, then they're going to be like, oh no, like, I want to connect with you in the way that you want now. But when you were with them, they weren't connecting to you in that way. And some of you are with that person at this experience now. So what you need to do, as hard as that is to say, if this individual, if this situation that I find myself in is never going to change even one drop, could I still be in this situation? Could I still be with this person? And in your opportunity, the answer, the reason why this reading is complicated is because the answer is really no, closing that mouth of the lion. But some of you will feel like it's maybe. Because you know what this is? Look, you know what? This is crazy. Look at this lion, Scorpio. Where's the tail of this lion? It's in between its legs and it's down. I just noticed that. Look at this angel is closing the mouth of the lion, and the lion has its tails in between its legs, which means that it's not ready to go. It's not ready. It's being subdued. And then in your challenge, you have the Ace of Wands. So there's a situation that is just like turning you off, but you're still treating it as if there's so much greatness to it. Now, some of you, there could be certain spiritual guide things with this, like this person's guides don't want to see you go because of the deals that were made on a higher level, and then it affects them negatively, or it affects you negatively temporarily, because if you do a deal with the devil, then Lucy always needs to come to collect, unless you are the avatar, because then you're just body jumping. But I'm sorry, not all right, let's clarify this reading for you, Scorpio. Let's clarify why the Six of Swords is in your overall general energy as representing the first card, or even in the beginning of July. Why is the Six of Swords here? You have the Page of Wands. So this could feel like, I don't really know where I'm going. I'm going exploring the period. I feel like there's almost a sense of like directionlessness. But there's going to be clear, obvious signs that you need to leave somewhere. You need to do something. Some of you may need to clear karma from your past and to go somewhere in order to finalize that, in order to clear it, and have the strength to do so, even if it's not fun. But then finding the creativity within those, it's like the rose blooming from the urban structure, the sidewalk. Yeah, and then the Six of Swords is also clarified by the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and also the Six of Wands here. I think you were successfully being infected. Let me repeat that. You were successfully being infected. Law number 10. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Sounds cruel, but it's your life. Oh, I'm going to stay with this bond because it feels comfortable, even though if I'm in the padded room, I'm not as turned on as I could be. That's crazy, because that's going to influence every area of your life. So it may feel like you're just riding off into the victory, and you're leaving a situation out in the dust, but it's like the Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Eight of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you have something that you need to defend here, and it's not even obvious what you need to defend. Now, some of you, this is even financial, because of your lack of creativity, because of your lack of alignment and energy flowing through you. This could affect your money negatively as well if you decide. Because what I'm getting in this reading is like, many of you are like, I don't know if this is about me because my life is so like. If you decide to stay in the situation that you're in, some of you are unaware of how much you're being sapped, of how much you're being robbed, of how many beautiful inventions and ideas and inspiration and love could come to your life, but you just keep holding on to this thing. And Spirit Guide, I think Spirits has just been absolutely like shaking you. So some of you, it's hard to see it because the betrayal hasn't fully happened yet. It's almost like, let's clarify that Six of Cups towards the end of the month here for you. And it doesn't have to be towards the end of the month, but the Six of Cups is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Judgment card, and also the Ten of Swords here. So yeah, I think that there's there's some sort of games that someone wants to suck you into from your past. It could be related to this whole situation. It could be a different situation that crops up. But there is no competition. With the Ten of Swords to the Five of Wands is always new referees. There is no competition here. So I feel like there's a situation where you're going to be fully letting go of the past. Games. Someone could be sucking you into games. And also the level of judgment. Like, someone is really... I think that there's a situation where it's like someone is really unsure of themselves, has a bunch of childhood issues that they use spirituality to like bypass. They think that nothing's wrong with them or whatever, and you're just being sucked into that and getting confused. So be aware of that. Let's go ahead and clarify why the Strength card is in your opportunity. And then we're going to get out of here. So, yeah, the Strength card is clarified by the Queen of Cups, the Chariot, and also the Temperance card here. So this is about divine protection, moderation, you know, cleansing yourself, balancing yourself out, because right now you're very unbalanced, basically. And then unconditional love. So I think that whatever the situation is that you're disentangling yourself from, you have to do it in a way where it's like, it's like hypnosis. It's like calm. It could be your worst enemy and you're just like, I love you, bye. I love you, bye. I love you, bye. Like, because it's not going to go good for you if you stick around. Let's clarify why the Ace of Wands is in your challenge. So there could be I think that this is a negative loyalty pattern or the guise of unconditional love holding you back. Why is the Ace of Wands in your challenge? The Empress and the World card here. So yeah, this is about a cycle completing out for you, and this is about abundance. This is about voluptuousness. The Empress is about like that whatever the Empress is, it will turn you on. And I think you have a lot of riches to get from this creativity, from this inspiration. You also have the Hermit. And the Hermit is the card that has to do with actually sexual complexes. And it has to do with people that you can be a nun, or you could be, you know, just someone who's interested in different things. But I think with this energy here, you got to be honest. You got to go within and realize that your abundance lies elsewhere here. And you will be going through a lot of challenging situations here. But your opportunity is to be the rose in the concrete, the rose that rises from the concrete. Because I really feel like if you stick around this situation, why is this in your advice? I think because it's saying that you already learned this lesson. You are like in graduate programs, but someone is keeping you stuck in like 3rd grade. And they're trying to make you the bad guy because you're the graduate and they're in 3rd grade. And you may try to come to the graduate program. No. And so, gotta get rid of that, right? So with that being said, I'm going to conclude this reading. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Peace.